So let's start our discussion about statement of cash flows. So statement of cash flows is one of the components of our complete set of financial statements. So we have statement of financial position, statement of comprehensive income, statement of cash flows, statement of changes in equity, and yung pinakadulo is notes to financial statements. Okay? Okay. So what are the objectives kung bakit kailangan gumawa ng isang company? That's statement of cash flows. So the objective is to present information about the historical changes in cash and cash equivalents of an entity during the period classified by operating, ayan, so operating, investing, and financing activities. Okay, magsulat tayo. Ayan. So dito, makikita nyo na sinasabi, nahahati siya sa tatlong parts. So ano yung mga part na yon? Yung operating, investing, and financing. Yan kasi yung tatlong major na category kung saan tumatakbo yung isang company. Okay? So this information is particularly useful kanino? Sa mga investor, sa mga creditors, and other users of financial statements. Para sa una, evaluating an entity's ability to generate cash and cash equivalents and the timing and certainty of their generation. So paano nga ba nakaka-generate ng cash and cash equivalents? Saan nanggagaling yung mga cash niya? Pangalawa, evaluating an entity's financial structure. So dito mo makikita yung ability ng company na liquidity niya. Ano ba pag sinabi natin liquidity? Ang liquidity is yung pagiging available ng cash in a short term or yung pagiging available ng cash in the near term to be used for our working capital requirements. So yung mga current natin na obligation. So yun, kailangan natin ng mga liquid na cash. And its ability to meet its obligation and to pay dividends. Pangatlo, understanding the reason for the difference between profit or loss for a period and the net cash flow. Kasi yung nakikita natin sa profit or loss, yung net income natin, based yan sa accrual accounting. So for accrual, meron diyang mga items na non-cash. For example, depreciation, di ba? Ang depreciation naman natin ay hindi cash. Wala namang cash na lumabas sa'yo. And napapasama siya sa computation of profit or loss mo. So it is a way to see the difference between profit or loss and your net cash flow from operating activities. So next, comparing operating performance of different entities. So dyan mo kasi makikita yung pagkakaiba. Kunwari, malaki yung income ng isa, maliit yung income ng isa. Pero, yun pala, kaya malaki yung income ng isa kasi accrual basis yung gamit niya. Pero wala pa naman siya natatanggap na cash. So parang dun mo makita kung sino yung mas kumikita talaga na company. Kasi pwedeng yung mga accrual or yung mga accounts receivable hindi niya makolekta, di ba? As compared dun kay company na nakolekta niya na agad yung cash. Okay? So ibig sabihin, dyan mo makikita yung difference ng dalawang entities. And lastly, enabling its user to develop models to assess and compare the present value of future cash flows of different entities. Okay? So yun ang mga objectives ng paggawa natin ng statement of cash flows. Next naman, ayan. What are the classifications of cash flows? So first, punta muna tayo sa unang classification, operating activities. So operating activities. Cash flows for operating activities are in general the cash effects of transactions and other events relating to operating or trading activities. So ito yung basic or parang sa lahat ng companies, laging merong operating activities. Hindi pwedeng walang operating activities kasi meaning kapag walang operating activities, hindi tumatakbo yung company. Meaning, hindi ka nag-earn ng income. So kailangan may operating talaga. So there will always be operating activities. Net cash flow from operating activities represents the net increase or decrease in cash resulting from the operations of company. So mamaya sabihin ko kung ano nga ba yung mga transaction or operating transactions ng isang company. So may dalawang method tayo. Ayan. Meron tayong dalawang methods para mag-report ng net cash flow from operating activities. Una, yung direct method natin. Pag direct method, kaya siya tinawag na direct, meaning, kinukuha natin yung cash receipts and cash payments or yung cash na pumasok sa company and cash na lumabas or pinambayad natin. Including, in particular, cash receipts from customers, sa mga customers natin, cash payments o yung mga binayad natin sa binila natin ng goods para ibenta or sa mga suppliers natin, and cash payments to and on behalf of our employees. Kasi minsan sa employees, nag-a-advance tayo sa kanya, di ba? Minsan umuutang siya sa atin or minsan nag-a-advance siya sa atin sa mismong company. So yan, kasama rin yun. Aggregating to the net cash flow from operating activities. So next naman, kung may direct, may indirect method. And yung indirect method starts with profit before tax. So pag sinabing profit before tax, yan yung makikita mo sa statement of comprehensive income. And i-adjust mo lang yun. Paano mo siya i-adjust? I-adjust mo siya for those non-cash charges. Pag sinabi kasing non-cash charges, yan yung mga ginamit mo na transactions or amounts sa pag-compute ng profit or loss mo. Pero di ba nga kasi yung ibang amounts doon, hindi siya cash basis, accrual basis siya. Meaning wala ka talagang tinanggap na cash or wala kang binayad na cash. Therefore, kailangan i-adjust mo siya. And credits to reconcile it to the net cash flow from operating activities. Okay? So sa next slide, ito. Ayan. So ito yung mga transactions na classified under operating. At a minimum, sabi, the following classes of cash receipts and payments should be separately reported. Una, cash receipts from sale of goods and rendering of services. So pag sinabing cash receipts, natanggap mo na pera sa pagbebenta mo ng goods or pag-render mo ng services. Cash receipts from interest, mga interest na na-receive mo, interest income. Dividend, mga dividend na na-receive mo, kasama rin yan. Pangatlo, cash receipts from other operating activities. Pag sinabing other operating activities, andyan yung mga royalties, fees, commissions, other revenue. Lahat yan kasama sa operating activities mo. So next naman, bukod sa mga cash na natanggap mo, kasama rin sa operating activities yung mga cash na binayad mo. Kanino? Kay supplier, goods and services. Ito, cash receipts and cash payments of an enterprise insurance sa mga binayad mo sa insurance, para sa insurance premium, and sa annuities, and sa other policy benefits. Next, cash payments or refunds of income tax. So yung mga binayaran mong income tax and yung mga natanggap mong refunds ng income tax, kasama yan under operating activities. Next, cash payment for interest. So yan, yung mga interest na binayaran mo, kunyari may utang ka, binayaran mo yung interest, kasama yan, cash payment for interest under operating. Next, cash payment and receipts from contracts held for dealing or trading purposes. Basta may kinalaman sa trading or dealing in your ordinary course of business, lahat yan under operating. Lahat ng matanggap mong pera or lahat ng ilabas mo na pera, basta may kinalaman sa operating activities mo or normal course of business mo, lahat yan, papasok mo sa operating activities. So next naman. Yan. So ito na yung formula kung paano natin mako-compute yung cash flow from operating activities. Ang sabi ni International Accounting Standards, nag-encourage siya pero hindi niya nire-require. So meaning pwede mo pa rin gamitin the use of direct method. So kailangan daw direct method. I-encourage niya, direct method yung gamitin niyo. Yung isa kasi natin indirect. So paano ba indirect method? So di ba ang direct method, madali lang. Lahat ng cash na natanggap mo, sulat mo. Lahat ng cash na nilabas mo, isulat mo din. Tapos, yung difference nun, yun yung net cash flow from operating activities mo. So, cash payments and cash received. Ganun lang kadali yung direct. Pagdating sa indirect, the principal advantage of indirect is that it highlights the difference between reported profit and net cash flow. Kasi magkaiba yan. Tulad nga nasabi ko kanina, ang i-report mo na profit, magkaiba yan dun sa net cash flow mo from operating activities. Bakit? Kasi nga may mga net cash. So, ang gagawin natin, from accrual basis profit, ayan, accrual basis profit, yung profit mo na nasa statement of comprehensive income mo, i-add mo si non-cash expenses. Ano ba itong mga non-cash expenses? Depreciation expense. Naglagay ka ng expenses pero non-cash siya. Wala kang nilabas na pera pero nag-record ka ng expense. Next, ibawas mo si non-cash income. Ano yung mga non-cash income mo? For example, ang pinakamagandang sample nitong non-cash income is, kunwari, may mga ano ka, may mga income from investment, diba? Yung investment income mo. Ang investment income mo, wala ka natanggap na cash. Pero may income ka. Nireport mo siya for your profit purposes. So meaning dapat i-less mo siya kasi wala ka naman natanggap talaga sa investment income. Okay? So next naman, add decreases in current assets. Ito, ang magandang way para matandaan mo siya. Kapag current assets, yan, kapag assets, yung change sa asset, inverse. Kapag yung change, for example, so si accounts receivable, okay, pag nag-decrease ang accounts receivable from last year to ngayon, kapag nag-decrease siya, i-add mo siya. Bakit? Kasi ang nangyari, kaya nag-decrease yung accounts receivable mo, meaning, marami ka nang natanggap na pera. Okay? Pero, hindi siya papasok sa profit mo. Bakit? Kasi pumasok siya sa profit mo nung time na nag-record ka ng accounts receivable plus yung sales. Okay? So, parang hindi siya mare-reflect doon sa profit mo as part of your cash. Parang hindi siya mare-report dun sa profit mo as part na nakatanggap ka ng cash. So, kailangan i-add mo siya. Next naman, ang ileless mo, yung increase. Bakit ka nag-increase? Tingnan mo, yung increase mo sa accounts receivable, nakatanggap ka ng income, di ba? So, meaning, nag-record ka ng income. Ibig sabihin lang niya, nag-record ka ng income, pero wala ka namang natanggap na cash. Kasi nga, accounts receivable pa rin siya. So, therefore, para makuha mo yung cash basis niya, for your operating cash flow, ibawas mo siya. Okay? Gets? So, AR, maganda example din sa current asset. And lahat ng current asset, AR, inventory, prepaid expenses, and other current asset. Basta current asset, lahat ng changes nun, kapag decrease, i-add mo. Kapag increase, i-deduct mo. Ganoon lang kadali. Kapag asset or current asset, inverse ang relationship. Okay? Next. Kapag liabilities naman, current liabilities, direct. Okay? Bakit direct? Una, add increase in current liabilities. For example, si accounts payable. Okay, nag-increase si accounts payable. Ang isang reason kung bakit mag-i-increase si accounts payable is nag-record ka ng expense mo. Therefore, nag-record ka ng expense mo, pero wala ka namang nilalabas na cash. Nag-record ka ng expense mo, walang cash related. Therefore, yung profit mo, understated. Kasi nag-record ka ng expense na wala ka naman nilalabas na cash. So, ang kailangan mong gawin, i-add mo. I-add mo yung increase in current liabilities or specifically increase in accounts payable. Kasi nga, bakit? Wala ka namang nilabas na cash pero nag-record ka ng expense. Diba? Kasabay kasi ng pag-record mo ng expense, mag-record ka ng payable. For example, nag-accrued accrued expense, di ba? Ang katapat ng accrued expense mo, debit, credit mo, accounts payable. So, nag-increase yung accounts payable mo kasi nag-record ka ng expense or accrued expense kahit na wala ka namang nilalabas na cash. So, dapat i-add mo siya. So, kapag decrease naman, syempre, i-deduct mo less kasi nga direct ang relationship niya. Okay? So, makukuha mo na yung cash basis mo or cash flow from operating activities. So, ganun lang kadali yung indirect method. Actually, mas madali nga yung indirect method kesa dun sa direct method. Kasi indirect method, changes lang yung kukuhanin mo, tapos add deduct ka lang, makukuha mo na yung cash flow from operating activities. Okay? Okay. So tapos na tayo sa operating. Punta naman tayo sa, ayan, investing naman. So cash flows from investing activities are the cash transactions involving acquisitions and disposal of asset pa rin itong investing natin. And it involves non-operating. So pag sinabing non-operating, meaning hindi siya operating. So ano ba yung mga non-operating asset natin? Yung mga hindi naman natin ginagamit sa ordinary course of business natin. Andyan yung property, plant, and equipment. So lahat ng payment natin, nung bumili tayo ng property, plant, and equipment, yung mga building, mga equipment, mga machinery, furnitures, and fixtures, lahat ng bayad natin dyan, papasok yan under investing activities. And it includes those relating to capitalized development cost and self-constructed property, plant, and equipment. So yung mga nagastos mo sa pagpapagawa ng property, plant, and equipment, lahat yon kasama sa investing activities natin. Okay, next. Cash receipts from sale of property, plant, and equipment. So may matatanggap ka, di ba? Kapag nagbenta ka na machinery mo or ng property mo, and the intangibles and other long-term assets. So kung makikita mo, ang pinagkaiba ng operating and investing talaga is kapag operating, current. Diba? Operating. Kapag investing, non-current. Non-current asset. So kapag nakatanggap ka ng pera dahil nagbenta ka ng non-current asset, at nagbayad ka ng pera dahil bumili ka ng non-current asset, lahat yon papasok sa investing activities mo. Okay? So pangatlo, cash payment to acquire entity of debt instrument of other enterprise and interest in joint ventures. So ito more about investments talaga to. Yan. Cash payment dahil bumili ka ng investment. Ito naman, cash receipt from sale of equity or debt equity or debt instrument. So ibig sabihin, bumili ka ng investment at nagbenta ka ng investment. Yun lang. Lahat ng natanggap mong pera dahil nagbenta ka ng investment at lahat ng binayad mo na pera dahil bumili ka ng investment, lahat pasok yun sa investing activities. Okay? So next, cash advances and loans made to other parties. So yung mga advances and loans mo hindi sa mga employees huwag sa employees. Kasi pag sa employees, pasok yan sa operating. Pero kapag sa other parties or sa other companies or other than yung mga third party. So yan, kapag nagpa-advance ka doon or nag-loan ka doon, yung mga cash na nilabas mo, kasama yan sa investing activities. Okay? So next, or lastly, cash receipts from the repayment of advances for those. Ganun rin. So about cash receipts and cash payments lang to. So ito naman, pag receipts, kapag binayaran ka na ng pinautang mo, di ba? Dahil may loan siya sa'yo, so yung cash receipts na yon, papasok yan under investing activities. So remember, kaya tayo gumagawa ng statement of cash flow, sinusundan natin saan pumupunta yung cash. Okay? Yes? So susundan natin saan pupunta itong cash na to. Pang-operating ba to? Pang-investing ba to? Or pang-financing? Yun dapat yung tandaan nyo. So, kailangan yung makukuha natin dito na amount ng cash flow, cash outflow or cash inflow man yan, net cash outflow or net cash inflow. Dapat yun yung makukuha mong amount na change sa cash mo during that year. Yun yung isang way ng checking mo. So, kunwari, ang beginning balance ng cash mo, pasukan mo siya ng net cash outflow or inflow, yun yung magiging ending balance ng cash mo. Dapat gano'n. Kasi sinusundan natin kung saan lang pumupunta si cash. Kasi cash is a good measure kung paano tumatakbo talaga yung isang company. Not just comprehensive income lang. Not just yung profit lang. Maganda rin na nakikita mo kung saan pumupunta si cash. Kasi doon mo makikita yung tunay nakita mo sa cash mismo. Kung ano yung cash na hawak mo. And saan siya napunta. Okay? Next. Ayan. So, meron pa pala dito about contracts, pero investments rin to. So cash receipts from cash receipts from sale of investments. Yan, yung mga contracts, future contracts, forward contracts, option contracts, swap contracts. Lahat yan investment and investing yan. Okay? Kaya nga, nandun ang galing yung word na investing. So meaning nag-i-invest ka. So all about, lahat ng transaction mo na about investing or sa pag-i-invest, lahat yun papasok under investing activities. Okay? Next. Next is our cash flow from financing activities. Yan yung pinakauli natin, financing. So financing is important. Bakit? Because it is useful in predicting claims on future cash flows. So dito naman, kapag sa financing naman, more of liability and equity itong financing activities. Bakit siya liability and equity? Tingnan mo yung mga example niya. So ang example of cash flows arising from financing activities are, una, cash proceeds from issuing shares. Equity ang shares, di ba? Lahat ng proceeds or cash na natanggap mo nung nag-issue ka ng shares ng company, pasok yon sa financing activities. And isa pang reason kung bakit liability and equity. Kasi di ba, ang way kung paano makakuha ng fund or ng capital na gagamitin si company para sa pagpapatakbo ng business is through liability and equity. Either mangutang ka or mag-issue ka ng shares mo. Makakatanggap ka ng capital mo para sa pagpapatakbo ng business mo. So nakikita mo yung nakikita mo yung scope ng statement of cash flow. Ang scope niya, yung buong FS or yung buong performance ng company. Hindi lang basta income. Nakikita mo rin doon kung ano yung mga pera na hiniram ni company. Ano yung mga pera na natanggap niya, nag-issue sa ng shares. And kung paano niya ginamit yon for its operating activities. So may connection siya. So parang investing, financing, yun yung magagamit mo for your operating activities. Okay? So for financing, ayan, cash proceeds from issuing shares and other equity instruments. Next naman, cash payment to owners to acquire or redeem the enterprise shares. So yan, lahat ng payments mo naman ngayon, kapag in-acquire mo na or ni-redeem mo na yung shares na i-issue mo. Okay? So next, cash proceeds from issuing debentures, loans, notes, bonds, or any kind of debt instrument. So yan, nangutang ka. Yung cash proceeds na natanggap mo dahil nangutang ka, nag-issue ka ng mga debentures at bonds, kung nangutang ka, lahat yon pasok sa financing activities. Okay? So next, cash repayments of the amounts borrowed. So nangutang ka, syempre, ibabayad mo, pasok rin yun sa financing activities. So tandaan niya dito sa cash flow, lahat ng pumasok, lahat ng lumabas, dapat lalabas. Dapat lalabas siya doon sa statement of cash flows. Sinusundan mo kung saan siya pumunta. Okay? So, always lagi, cash inflow, cash outflow. Okay? So lastly, cash payments by LSE for the reduction of the outstanding liability relating to finance lease. So ito naman, when it comes to lease naman, yan, yung renta. Yung cash payment mo for operating lease. Di ba? Ang operating lease is ano lang, rent expense, cash, di ba? Ganun lang. Pupunta yon saan? Financing ba yon? Hindi. Operating lang siya. Kasi kaya nga siya tinawag na operating lease, di ba? So pupunta siya sa operating activities. Pero paano naman yung mga bayad mo? Under finance lease yung rent mo. So pag under finance lease, syempre, pupunta siya sa financing activities. Kasi finance lease siya. Di ba? May ano rin siya, may ano tawag dito? Meron din siyang pagkakatulad. Di ba? Kung finance, may clue ka na. Kung finance lease, financing activities pupunta yan. Okay? So yung mga cash payments mo dun sa rent mo na yun. Ayan. So tapos na tayo dun sa tatlo. Diba? Operating, investing, financing. Yun lang yung mga kailangan mong tandaan. Actually, madali mo lang siyang tandaan eh. Ang tatandaan mo lang, kapag current asset and current liabilities, lahat yan operating. Kapag non-current asset na transaction, lahat yan investing. Kapag non-current liability and equity transaction yan, lahat yan financing. Ganun lang siya kadali tandaan para mas mabilis kang mag-classify kung ano yung i-compute mo. Eh mamaya, kapag nag-problem solving na tayo, mas makikita nyo na doon yung paano nga ba nagka-classify kapag nakakita ka na ng problem. Okay? So next naman, dividends paid. Ayan, di ba wala ka pa nakikita kanina dividends paid? Dividend received pa lang under operating, di ba? So dividends paid naman may be classified as a financing activities. Bakit? Kasi it is a cost of obtaining financial resources. Di ba? For example, nag-issue ka ng shares. Yung shares na yon, bibigyan mo ng dividend. Therefore, hindi naman pwedeng mag-issue ka ng share na walang dividend. Di ba? Parang ano, ang kailangan ng mga shareholders mo is dividend kasi they're investing. And since ginamit mo yon as cost para magkaroon ka ng financial resources o ng capital, so it is reasonable lang na yung dividends na ibabayad mo is related to financing activities. Kasi hindi pwedeng mag-issue ka ng shares na wala kang dividend na binabayaran. Although, merong kahit yung mga ordinary shares natin, may dividend pa rin yun. Pero nasa discretion na ng company yung if kaya niya magbigay ng dividends during that year. Pero may nakalagay dito, alternatively, dividends paid may also be classified as a component of cash flow from operating activities. So pwede rin pala siyang ilagay into operating activities. Kasi nga, bakit? For the reason that it is an order to assist user to determine the ability of the enterprise to pay its dividend out of its operating cash flows. Kasi ito, saan mo ba kinukuha yung dividends na ipapambayad? Di ba sa retained earnings mo? Saan ba nanggaling yung retained earnings mo? Ang retained earnings mo nanggaling rin sa income mo. Income mo from what? From operating activities. Gets? So reasonable lang na ilagay mo yung dividends paid mo kasi yan na lang yung natitira, di ba? Yung interest paid, interest received, operating. Yung dividends received, operating rin. Itong paid lang yung nahiwalay sa financing. Pero alternatively, pwede mo rin siyang ilagay sa operating. Kasi nga, it is a way to assist the user to determine the ability of the enterprise to pay its dividend out of its operating cash flow. So may kinalaman pa rin siya sa operating activities. Kaya alternatively, pwede mo siyang ilagay. Okay?